Hello, everyone. We should have everyone from KB, whether you're an A-Day student or a B-Day student watching this video, because this is our last letter of the day video of the week, and it is for the letter I. Okay? So we have capital I and we have lowercase I. And this is going to be our final letter of the day for this week. Okay? Now we're going to learn a lot of different things about the letter I. We're going to learn the sound that it makes, some words that start with I, and we're going to practice making capital I and lowercase I together. So let's get started. When we look at the letter I, and we're going to learn so much more about this in KB, but the letter I is called a vowel. It was kind of like our letters A and E. So the letter I is going to have a couple different sounds. The main sound that we're going to practice with the most first in KB is the sound I. Can you say I? Good. I. The letter I has a short sound, I. Now, we're going to see a lot of words that start with I that make the I sound. We're also going to see some words that start with this letter I that make the long sound, which is I. It's just saying its name. So some of the words we're going to look at next say I at the beginning, and some of the words will say I. Okay? So let's go ahead and take a look at some of these words, and then we'll practice writing I's together. Okay, the first word we're going to look at has the long I sound, I, at the beginning. Can you say ice? Ice? You can kind of hear I saying its name in ice. Very good. Next, we have an ice cream cone. So we can take that word ice and put it with the words cream and cone to make it an ice cream cone. Here we have an icicle. Say icicle. We hear that long I sound again. Okay, this is the first word where we're going to hear I making that sound I, which is the sound we're going to hear I make the most in KB. So say igloo. Good. The word igloo starts with the sound I, which is that short sound for I that we're going to practice the most with. Igloo. I. Here's another one that has that I sound. Say iguana. Nice job. Iguana starts with I, which is the short sound, and the sound we'll use the most for the letter I. Here's another one. Say inch. Good. The word inch has that short sound I right at the beginning. Awesome. Next, we can take that word inch and make a compound word with it. Say inchworm. Good. We hear I at the beginning of inchworm, and it is a compound word. Inch, worm, inchworm. Very good. Here we have insects. Can you say insects? Good. We hear that sound I again at the beginning. This word is going to be one of those long I words, so we'll hear I saying its name. Say iris. Good. Iris, which is a type of flower. We're going to hear the long sound again. Say iron. Iron. Good. And another long I word where we hear I saying its name. Say island. Good. Island. And we also have ivy. Good. Say ivy. Okay, here's our list of I words, and it doesn't matter if there's capital I or lowercase I at the beginning. We're either going to hear I make the short sound, I, or the long sound, I. Let's look at the short sound words first one more time. Okay, say igloo. Say iguana. Say inch. Say inchworm. And say insects. So those words, igloo, iguana, inch, inchworm, and insects, are very important because we're going to practice with that I sound the most in kindergarten. Now, the letter I, because it's a vowel, can also make the long sound where it says its name, I, in words like ice, ice cream cone, icicle, iris, iron, island, and ivy. All right, our last job of the day to do together is going to be to meet at the big board. So I'm going to take you over there and talk about writing capital I and lowercase I. All right, we're at the big board. Let's talk about that letter I, and we'll start with capital I. So when I make my capital I, I'm going to start with a line across the top line. Okay? Then I'm going to go in the middle of that line that I just made and make a line down to the bottom. But I can't stop there because that looks exactly like the letter T. And we're not working on T, we're working on the letter I. So my last job is going to be to make one more line across the bottom line to make a capital I. So there's 3 lines. One across the top, one in the middle down to the bottom, and then one across the bottom. So check this out one more time. I'm going to go across the top, find the middle, go down to the bottom, and then go across the bottom. Okay, watch me make one faster. Across the top, middle, down to the bottom, and then across the bottom. If you can do that, you are going to make perfect capital I's in our classroom. Okay, but we're not done yet. We still have to talk about our lowercase I. Okay? Now, lowercase I is much different than capital I. For lowercase I, we're going to start in the middle and just make a line down to the bottom. Then we're going to pick up. Then we're going to go leave a little space above the top of that line we just made, and we're going to make what's called a dot. Okay? Watch me do it again. Down, pick up, and a little dot. Down, pick up, and a little dot. Okay, let me show you what you should not do. A dot is small. Okay, it should be just big enough to see it. We can't make our dots on our eyes like this. Okay, that's way too big, right? We shouldn't really be drawing a circle and coloring it in when we make our dots. We just want to make a line down, and then for a dot, we just press our pencil or marker in and make a little dot. So practice that when you're making your lowercase i's on your own. Make sure your dots are not too big. So that's all I have to say about the letter I. We've got capital I, we've got lowercase I for you to practice. And when you're practicing, please remember that most of the time in kindergarten, I is going to say I. But you'll also hear it in some words make its long sound where it says its name and it's saying I. Okay? This was a great week of our letters of the day. Okay, we're flying through the alphabet and you're doing a great job each day. Okay? Have a great weekend.